Dear Muslims, when such tragedies come down, one of the most bizarre perks that come, this is really strange, but bear with me, we learn who are the hypocrites and traitors from within our own ummah. We learn those who are willing to sell themselves for a measly price. The munafiqun, who have no shame for the sake of their kursis and power, for the sake of their oil-rich companies and their kingdoms, they're willing to form alliances with the worst of the worst. They form alliances with the devil, and they're willing to side against Allah and His Messenger and the people of Iman and Taqwa. And we thank Allah, لِيَمِيزَ اللَّهُ الْخَبِيثَ مِنَ الطَّيِّبِ. These are khubatha, khawana, they're traitors, and we say this openly and publicly. Anybody who sides with an apartheid regime at this point in time against our Palestinian brothers and sisters, against the people of the kalima, against the people of ikhlas, wallahi, how can we not have any shame and boycott from those Muslims? How can we not cut off ties? These aren't actual believers in Allah and His Messenger. This is where wala and bara comes into place. So we thank Allah that He is allowing us to see.
We cry for their dead, and we mourn and we feel grief and sorrow for their dead. But in reality, the dead are actually celebrating. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentions in the Quran, and He says, وَلَا تَحْسَبَنَّ الَّذِينَ قُتِلُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ أَمْوَاتًا. Do not assume that those who died in the path of Allah are dead. Yani, just the fact that you assume, you're not allowed to assume, let alone believe they are dead. وَلَا تَحْسَبَنَّ الَّذِينَ قُتِلُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ أَمْوَاتًا. Don't you dare assume that those who died in the cause of Allah are dead. But Ya Allah, we see them as dead. Allah Azza wa Jalla says, بَلْ أَحْيَاء, they're alive, but we see them dead. عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ يُرْزَقُونَ. With their Lord they are alive and they're being provided for. فَرِحِينَ بِمَا آتَاهُمُ اللَّهُ مِنْ فَضْلِهِ. This is the word here. فَرِحِين, meaning rejoicing. And they're celebrating what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them from His unlimited blessings, subhanallah. For they're really alive and they're really celebrating and rejoicing over this moment now and forever. So there's no need to mourn their dead, and there's no need to lose hope because they're dying and this is what's happening. Rather, go and mourn the dead that are still walking with a dead heart inside towards their brothers and their sisters.
And similarly today, the Muslims who are in Palestine, they are fulfilling the fard kifaya on behalf of this ummah, no exaggeration. For how many years? How many years have the Muslims been in Palestine? For over 60 years, they've been persecuted. They are fulfilling a fard kifaya on behalf of this ummah. If it was anybody else, they would have cut and run. But see, they still have sayings like, they look the Israeli army in the eyes, and they have these sayings like نحن أبناء المسلمين وكلنا صلاح الدين. So we are the children of the Muslims, and every single one of us is Salahuddin. They are fulfilling, wallahi, they are fulfilling the fard kifaya on behalf of this ummah. And it's a disgrace by Allah. It's a disgrace that they have to wait for handouts from the EU, from America. And really, this is a shame. You know, recently they had a documentary where they had that blind man. 4 children, 4 sons in prison. He's blind. And the Israelis put a blank check in front of him. They said, fill it in, sign it. You know, how much, whatever you want, and give us your land. What did he say? He said, if you want the land, then you will have to take the signature of every single Muslim on the face of this earth, because this land belongs to every single Muslim. And this is not just an issue of land, this is an issue of aqeedah. It is an obligation for us to assist these people. And it cannot be short term. It cannot be short-lived. You know, as long as BBC has it on their front page, we remember it. No, this must be sustained. We have everything, by Allah. We have everything. Can you still feel? Can you still see? Can you still breathe? Because there are 1,300 Palestinians who are fulfilling a fardh kifaya on our behalf who cannot anymore. 400 Palestinian children, many of them incinerated by white phosphorus. Incinerated. And then we are worried. What will our counselors say? We are worried. Is this the kind of life that Muslims have started to live?
Palestine, tomorrow.